Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into episode 13 teaser review part 3 of ABO Desire the series, and trust me, this one is one of the most emotional and powerful teasers we've gotten so far. It takes us right into the early connection between Sheng Shaoyou and Huayong, showing us how their complicated, fated romance started when they were still kids. This episode is a mix of pain, bullying, power imbalance, but also the spark of something unforgettable between these two. Let's break it all down in a way that's simple, easy to follow, and really gets to the heart of what makes their relationship so captivating. We start with Huayong, only 8 years old, already carrying the weight of being an illegitimate child in the powerful Hua family. He's used to being looked down on, bullied, and treated as if he doesn't belong. That's something that's shaped his entire personality, cold, distant, and fierce when he needs to defend himself. In this scene, he's at a banquet in Japan, surrounded by children of wealthy and influential families. Instead of making friends, he finds himself targeted again, mocked about his gender and status. The cruelty of the kids, especially the arrogant little alpha leading the group, hits hard because it reflects the same prejudice Huayong has always faced. Even though he's used to this kind of treatment, we can see how isolating and exhausting it is for him. What stands out, though, is Huayong's composure. Even at 8, he doesn't break down, doesn't cry, doesn't let them see weakness. He fights back with words, throwing sharp remarks that expose the insecurities of his bullies. When they call him an omega and talk about cutting off his manhood, he strikes back by insulting the leader's inferior alpha status, calling it a disability. It's brutal, but it shows us how Huayong has learned to protect himself with both his mind and his fists. You can feel that fierceness bubbling inside him. And just as the fight is about to explode, with several boys ganging up on him, something shifts. That's when Sheng Shaoyu enters. And wow, what an entrance. He literally jumps down from a cherry tree, his pheromones filling the air with the sharp but calming scent of bitter orange and wood. Immediately, he commands the scene, not just with his presence, but with the natural dominance of an S-class alpha. The bullies freeze. Suddenly, this isn't a group of spoiled rich kids in control anymore. This is a moment where power shifts entirely. Xiaoyu's anger at seeing so many kids ganging up on one sparks a side of him that hates injustice, even as a child. And the way he stands there, protecting Huayong without hesitation, is the moment that sets everything in motion. What makes this even more interesting is how Huayong reacts. For the first time, he's not the one holding all the walls up. When Xiaoyu releases his pheromones, Huayong feels them deeply. His body is hot, restless, confused. It's supposed to be omegas who are drawn to alphas, but here's Huayong, undifferentiated at the time, overwhelmed by Xiaoyu's presence. He mistakes him for an omega at first, maybe because of how beautiful and radiant he looks, but then realizes Xiaoyu is actually an S-class alpha. That changes everything. This attraction isn't ordinary. It's something much deeper, something that feels almost destined. The way Xiaoyu treats Huayong after chasing away the bullies is equally important. He isn't harsh with him. He doesn't look down on him the way others do. Instead, he comforts him, uses his pheromones to soothe him, and for a brief moment, Huayong allows himself to lean into that warmth. This is the first time we see Huayong let down his guard, even if it's just a little, and it's all because of Xiaoyu. He even buries his face into Xiaoyu's shoulder, something completely out of character for someone as proud and cold as him. It tells us that this meeting is far more than a random encounter. It's the beginning of a bond that will shape both of them for years to come. But what really hits me in this episode is the small, subtle detail of Huayong asking for Xiaoyu's contact. It's so vulnerable, so childlike, and at the same time, so heartbreaking. Xiaoyu doesn't give him a number, just draws a simple X on the paper. It seems careless at first, but that X becomes a symbol, something Huayong will hold on to. And when Xiaoyu accidentally drops his old pocket watch, which Huayong picks up and keeps, it becomes another symbol, an heirloom, a connection, a piece of Xiaoyu he can hold on to. For Huayong, whose pockets were always empty, now carrying that pocket watch means carrying the weight of a memory, of someone who saw him, protected him, and made him feel wanted for the first time. This whole teaser review shows us how the romance between Sheng Shaoyou and Huayong isn't just about attraction. It's about salvation. Xiaoyu steps in as a protector, someone who refuses to let injustice slide, while Huayong discovers that not everyone will abandon or despise him. It's raw, emotional, and heartbreaking because we know they're only children here, and yet this moment already feels so heavy with fate. You can tell this is the kind of connection that will haunt them into adulthood. Episode 13 makes us reflect on how romance in ABO desire isn't just about pheromones, hierarchy, or rules. It's about humanity, kindness, and the need to be understood. Huayong, who has been despised all his life, finally finds someone who doesn't treat him as inferior. Xiaoyu, who is born into power and responsibility, finds himself touched by someone who isn't afraid to stand tall despite his scars. That's why this episode is so impactful. It's not just a flashback, it's the foundation of their story. Looking ahead, we can already see where the tension will come from. Huayong's identity, his eventual differentiation, and Xiaoyu's role as an S-class alpha heir to a powerful family all set the stage for conflict. But here, in this moment, none of that matters. All that matters is that an 8-year-old boy who was always alone finally met someone who made him smile, someone worth remembering, someone he could keep close to his heart. The pocket watch, the paper with the X, these are not just props, they're promises of a future connection, whether painful or beautiful. So, episode 13 is less about action and more about emotion. It's about building the roots of a romance that's going to shape both of their worlds. Sheng Xiaoyu and Huayong's story starts not with grand declarations, but with small moments of protection, kindness, and unspoken understanding. And honestly, that's what makes it so powerful. We see that love doesn't always start with fireworks. Sometimes, it starts in the quiet moments when someone stands up for you, when someone makes you feel like you matter, when someone leaves behind something small that feels huge in your heart. That's it for my episode 13 teaser review of ABO Desire the series. It's a beautiful, heartbreaking start to a romance that we know will only grow more complicated, more intense, and more emotional as the series continues. Sheng Shaoyu and Huayong are characters that already feel destined for each other, and this episode just cements that feeling. I can't wait to see how their bond develops from here, and how the pocket watch, the X, and that first meeting will come back into play later on.